As far as we know, you're an engineer. Do you want to get into the specifics? What exactly do you do?
Okay, I'm a mechanical engineer graduate, and right now I'm in the oil and gas field.
Hmm.
But what I'm doing in oil and gas is more related to the mechanical sector rather than oil and gas, like petroleum itself.
So you work with machinery and things like that?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm in elevator construction industry where we install elevator in a construction environment, or we can do the replacement of the elevator for your building or any hotel or any shopping mall. And that is my current industry. Previously, I used to work for oil and gas and construction of oil and gas complex. Yeah.
I'm a graduate architect. I'm a senior project architect. I've been working for almost 20 years.
Wow.
In oil and gas plant, right, in a manufacturing plant, there is lots of equipment, machine, and inside the equipment, there will be like little things, instrument like sensors, transmitters, and all of that. So I am looking after those miniature little things inside the machine.
I'm working as a site safety supervisor for 7 years experience.
Wow.
7 years in this industry, yes, from oil and gas, lifetime to construction to highway to high rise.
I'm a mechanical engineer. Right now, I'm in a graduate program. So my first job is as a manager. So I'm a manager of like 40 people. Guys, men, by the way. And average age, 50. Yeah, they're all like our dad. Yeah, and I did 2 automotive French big car companies that you guys know. And in my first company, I was the first woman manager in 100 years.
Obviously, because it's Women's Day, we wanted to talk about like other girls, other women who want to aspire to be like you.
Yeah, especially young women out there who are in school and if they're thinking, oh, can I be an architect someday?
Yeah, exactly. So what advice have you got for them? Because you're very experienced, so I suppose you're the best person to give out the advice.
In architecture, you cannot stop learning. I mean, after you graduated from university, when you're working, you have to keep learning because it's an evolving industry. I mean, 20 years ago, this technology does not exist, but now it exists. And you have to continue learning about it. Don't take it personal when you're handling projects because there are times when you will be arguing with the contractors, with the clients, with the other consultants. But know that sometimes it's the way we do the project. Sometimes it's the people in there. We shout at each other. Sometimes we'll curse each other, but don't take it personal.
And people always say in the job, right, in your industry, I guess, turun padang. So you are literally one of the women who turun padang all the time, right?
Yes, I turun padang for audit, walkabout, site inspection.
Okay, so when you turun padang, do you go to like the oil rigs and stuff?
Not because I tak kerja yang live plant on macam offshore punya. I on construction. So from Tanah Merah to tangki besar, the big tank. Water treatment plant. So I'm working there.
Obviously, perception, good or bad, is always that this is a male-dominated industry. From your few weeks' experience or however long you've been there, is that true? Are you one of very few women who work in this line?
Okay, so in the office there are a lot of women, but when you go on field, you're one in like many. Like there's so many men. Sometimes you only see like 3 women. Maximum, I actually saw 2 so far.
Yeah.
Were you ever scared, Iman? Because this is a male-dominated industry. It's a male-dominated job. So when you wanted to come in there, do you have doubts that, oh my God, what if I don't do well in this? What if people don't like me in this because I'm a woman?
There was a famous interview question. Whenever I attend a question, the interviewer will ask me that question. Do you think you can survive in this industry? Like, because most of them are males, how will they respond to your instruction? Do you know, because you're a female? But I believe in one thing, that gender doesn't define your work quality. That is my... I always say the same thing to the interviewer, that gender doesn't define my work quality. I have been in these industries in the past 7 years. That means I can do way better in the next few years. So I don't think it should be an issue for me.
What's the usual reaction from your subordinates when they see you? Are they scared? Do the men respect you as their boss?
Depends on the situation, because I can be very friendly. At the same time, I can be very angry, When I work in a construction industry, you don't only meet people from Malaysia. You need to deal with the general workers from Bangladesh. And most of them actually are very clever. They are graduated in engineering background, which is way better than me. Sometimes their background is way better. So when you want to talk to them, they can respond back to you nicely, or they can respond back to you in a weird way.
And at first, I had guys even like make very condescending, very misogynistic jokes. Like, oh, a woman, you don't have your place here, or you're a woman, go back to the kitchen, stuff like that.
Oh wait, even in France people say these things. So I guess it's not just a Malaysian thing.
Masuk dapur je macam tu. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know it's not just not generalizing it, but some, especially I think the culture like at that time, since they never had a woman manager, it's very hard for people to like adapt.
How is it like? I mean, compared to you worked in Malaysia before, right? And then now you're working in the UK. How is the difference in acceptance of women in powerful positions like you?
Oh, we can go long about this. For sure, there are differences in terms of culture, because here they are more open because I mean, it's the way the society is. Because in our culture we think about sensitivities, religion and whatnot. Here it's not really that much of a big deal. As long as you're decent, that's it. You tak kacau orang, okay.
What's your advice for other women who want to get into this industry, do exactly what you're doing? Is there anything that you can look back and say, oh, I could have done that a little bit different, or this would have helped in whatever situation?
Frankly, I think my biggest challenge was self-doubt. No one else can help you with that, so you have to conquer your own self-doubt. And imposter syndrome, it's super true. Like, I still feel the that syndrome all the time. Like, I always feel small among everyone. My advice would be to look up on that and to be aware that if you have self-doubt or imposter syndrome, you try to overcome it bit by bit, because that would actually mess you up if you don't conquer it over time.
A lot of young girls are actually wanting to do what you do, but they're probably afraid to do it because they're like, oh, I don't belong here. So what do you want to tell them?
Well, okay. Because I felt alone before. I remember crying, feeling crappy and all of that. It was a really struggle. So first thing I want to say, you girls are not alone. You girls are not alone. If you think that, it's the world against me, no. Somewhere out there, there's a woman feeling the exact same thing. So do not fret.
So I think for the young women out there who want to try this field, never give up before trying. If you give up in the halfway, then you don't know what is waiting for you in front of them.
Is there any message you want to say out there for Women's Day, especially from you today? Like, the message to all the women?
We as a woman, I think we can explore more about this industry. Not all women cannot work yang surrounding dengan lelaki yang ramai. And jangan rasa diri kita ni sebagai perempuan, kita tak boleh kerja macam mana lelaki kerja.
And as a female, if you want to be in the male-dominated industry, don't come in with a mindset saying like, oh, they're all looking down on me, because most of the time they're not. And most of the time, they're pretty nice. And you just have to be nice to yourself,
To all those girls out there, don't ever think that there is a male job or a male industry or nobody cares. Girl, you want it, you get it. And you know what? To be honest, we're all worth it. And if you want something, you can get it. Where there's a will, there's a way.
To all women out there, that you can achieve anything that you dream of. It may not be so soon. It may be like tomorrow you can achieve it. It may take time, but eventually you will achieve it if you put your heart into it and you're very passionate about it. I think I can be a good example of that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and you take care of yourself. Thanks for giving us your time.
Happy Women's Day, okay?
Thank you.